hills of its surrounds. On it flows down through the forest, accompanied by insect chorus.
Snakes through pastures, fields and ridges, meeting at our town's twin bridges. Flows to districts outermost and empties out into the coast.
There is a river in my town. It's what this place is built around. The settlers of the Blood Lake are 2 hills of the Great Square.
The copper and cedar down by tanks and drag across the hilly land. To the river, push them down and float them back into town.
There is a river in my town, a rainbow serpent lining out, that ancient terms and sacred places that we have shared for generations.
It is called Balong in my people's tongue, the Witchable Bible of Bunjalung, a special place the hunters send a jingiwalla to our friends.
There is a river in my town. It overflows when the banks break down. Or too much rain falls down too quickly. It can't stand in all the filthy. Water floods our homes on stilts, leaving slimy sludge and silt. We clean up the mud so tremendous and get on with our lives again.
There is a river in my town. It keeps our farms from turning brown. Catchment rains all feed our fields, the produce that our pastures yield are highly prized throughout our nation, receiving praise and acclamation. It is the jewel in Lismore's crown, this river running through my town.
This is my town. Here's where I come from, so put it down. Here's where I belong, it's my community. This is where my family all live. It's such a part of me, it's where I wanna be. This is my town, the place I feel at home. Lismore surrounds are in my chromosomes. Whenever I'm away for family work or holidays, I realize in every way it's where I wanna be. My town, my town. From the forest to the flats to the koala habitats, it always keeps me coming back. This is my town. This is my town. This is where I live. I've been around, but this place always gives me what my heart desires, gives me what my soul requires. I don't need to ask me why. It's where I wanna be. My town, my town. From the forest to the flats to the koala habitats, it always keeps me coming back. This is my town. Flats to the koala habitats, it always keeps me coming back. This is my town. This is my town. It's where my story is when not around. And definitely is the sights and sounds of town. Instinctive as the place itself, and anyone around can tell it's where I wanna be. My town. pin on words, become warm again. We're not savages, man.
Very good, Mom.
McLaren, I'm feeling a tad peckish. Get Chef to make me some cucumber sandwiches. Make sure all the crusts are cut off this time. We're not savages, man.
No, Mom, we are not. Good morning. You've reached the residence at Worthington Estate. How may I direct your call? Please wait, Mr. Hartley. Lady Worthington will be with you directly. It is Principal Hartley from young Molly's school. Apparently, she's been involved in some kind of a ruckus.
Hello, Mr. Hartley. Penelope Worthington speaking. Oh. Again. Oh, my word. I've no idea what's going on with her these days. Yes, I most certainly will. McLaren, that young girl's becoming such a rambunctious little mite. I'm at my wit's end with her. I'm thinking it's time we sent her to the Little Sisters of Perpetual Obedience. Maybe the nuns can straighten her out.
If you don't mind me saying, Mom, young Molly has always been a delightful young lady.
She used to be. Back when her dear parents were still alive, she was the most delightful child. She's never recovered from such a tragic loss.
Can you imagine how hard it is to lose both your parents at such a young age? Do you really feel sending her away is the best way to deal with her?
What else am I to do? Her behavior is simply appalling. After all, she is the heir to this estate. It's time to sort this scallywag out once and for all. McLaren, please fetch her for me.
That poor little girl.
Molly has always been the sweetest little thing.
I wonder what's getting her so upset these days.
Who knows? She really is a good girl, though.
Something young lady. This has gone way too far. That's the third time this month I've been called in by your principal.
But, Nan, it wasn't my fault.
No, it's never your fault, is it, Molly? I suppose the poor boy tripped over his own feet and fell into your fist.
I was just defending myself. What am I supposed to do? The kid is a bully.
I suppose you were defending yourself against young Tommy down the road the other day. His mother called saying you'd given him a bloodied nose and a black eye. This isn't the behavior we Worthingtons are bred for.
Tommy's a creep, Nan. You have no idea what he tries on the girls in this neighborhood. But if we retaliate, it's poor little Tommy. I'm sick of this.
Well, that's one thing we can agree on, young dear. Sick to death of it. What would your dear parents, God rest their soul, be thinking of this?
They would be backing me up. They didn't live with a head in the sand like you and Principal Hartley.
Don't take that tone with me, young lady. I've had it up to here with your insolence, your feistiness, and your unladylike behavior.
I'm not a lady. I'm only 14. I'm barely even a teenager.
Well, in my day, children knew their place. They had manners, honor, respect. Things you are sadly lacking, my dear. I've decided that the only way to get you to straighten up and fly right is the steady hand of boarding school.
You've got to be kidding.
I most certainly am not, young lady. I've enrolled you at St. Beatrice's with the Little Sisters of Perpetual Obedience. I'm sure they will be able to sort this boorish behavior out quick smart.
But, Nan...
No buts about it. You leave this weekend. This girl has got me in a tiz. Now warm up the Bentley, McLaren. I think I'll meet up with the girls at the country club. Maybe a pedicure and a Moroccan mud mask will take my mind off this.
Can you at least drop me off at the nursing home to see Gran? I'd like to say goodbye before you send me off to that horrid boarding school.
Okay, but what do you want with that silly old woman? Is she the one filling your head with all these stupid ideas? The only decent thing that woman ever did was give birth to your mother.
How could you say such terrible things? Gran is neither stupid or silly. More importantly, she's family.
She's your family, not mine. She is not a Worthington. When your father, my son, married your mother, well, let's just say we inherited your grandmother as well. I only let her move in with us because she was getting too old to be living in that hippie commune of hers.
Well, you didn't waste any time shipping her out to the nursing home after my parents died.
I didn't ship her out, young lady. I merely placed her in a more suitable environment. And let's face it, she hated living here. Silly old cow with her love, peace, and tofu view of the world. Besides, she never liked me very much anyway.
Like I said, Gran is neither stupid or silly.
I've snuck in a packet of ice Bobos. Who's got something worthwhile to trade?
I've got some, my lad.
I've got a Phantom comic.
I've got this poncho I knitted. I've got a fixed nasal inhaler. Only used it a couple times.
Oh my lord, these are some of the worst offerings I've ever seen. What about some banana bread? Carrot buttons? Cakes? Muffins? Anything?
Best we've got. None of us have had visitors in ages. All the goodies ran out weeks ago.
Okay, well I guess we can just share these then.
Where did you get them from anyway?
My granddaughter Molly always makes sure I've got a little something special. She's such a good girl. Spitting image of her dear mother. God rest her soul.
My grandpa hasn't been for years.
What?
We're not getting any younger here, Astra. Come on.
Glass of milk, perhaps.
I said,
Here we go.
my grandkids haven't visited me in 3 years. They only live an hour away, but apparently they're too busy to fit me in.
Young people have just got no idea of time at all. They seem to think it's this linear thing between 2 points, a start and an end, but it's so much more complex than that.
I know. Time all depends on what is happening.
Too true. A day waiting in this place seems to drag on forever, but at the same time, each year slips by like quicksilver. Seems only just like yesterday as a kid myself. In fact, I still feel like one inside. Oh, forget it. I guess I'm just a tired, wrinkled old kid.
Same here. I'm still working out what I want to do when I grow up.
I doubt you ever truly grow up, Astra. It's a bit of a shame that we've grown old before we've grown up.
Absolutely not. When we were young things, we made a point of not growing up. A regular pair of Peter Pans, living like there was no tomorrow.
Well, one thing's for sure, that time never waits. It just keeps ticking away. Makes you regret ever wasting any of it.
How long is a day? 24 hours, you say. But sometimes they go ferociously fast, so slow. The funny thing about timing and such, there's sometimes too little, there's sometimes too much, but I know when it comes down to the crunch, there's no time. How long is a day? Whatever you make it, I say. What takes an age to grow near can rapidly then disappear. The funny thing about turning such, there's sometimes too little, there's sometimes too much, but I know when it comes down to the crunch, there's no time. You need a balance in life to get it right. How long is a day? Whatever you make it, I say. Don't make the mistake of thinking that it's here to stay. Put on the brakes. Make time for enjoying each day. No matter how long it takes, make sure not to wish it away.
You've got a visitor, Cheryl.
Oh, Molly, you dear girl. It's always so wonderful to see you.
Hi, Gran. Not sure how often I'm going to get to visit you from now on. Nanny's sending me off to some horrid boarding school in Sydney.
Why on earth would she do that?
I made the mistake of standing up for myself at school. Apparently it's ill-mannered and boorish. She enrolled me at St. Beatrice's and hoping the nuns can whip me into shape.
Oh, my. Well, I am going to miss seeing you, my sweet. It's always such a breath of fresh air to have you visit. It's the highlight of my week.
Me too, Gran. I really don't want to go. Sometimes Nenny can be such a pain in the...
No, don't be speaking about your grandmother like that. Granted, she is a pain in the neck sometimes, but she is your grandmother and she loves you and just wants what's best for you.
Surely sending me away isn't what's best for me?
That's what I thought when she bundled me off to this place after your parents died. But we make the best with the cards we're dealt in life.
Is that what we should aspire to in life, Gran? Making the best, that'll do. Near enough is good enough. Whatever happened to reaching for the stars?
When I was your age, reaching for the stars was all I did. But life has a nasty little way of eroding your dreams. Sometimes love.
I know what you mean, Gran. It's quite a load to bear being the only descendant of the Worthington estate.
You're going to be a very rich girl one day, Molly.
But what use is money when it brings no happiness at all?
You need to follow your heart, follow your dreams. The universe will guide you, my darling.
There's a piece of the puzzle buried model I'm trying to squeeze into place. The harder I budge it, the more I rush it, the more to fill in that space. It seems the only fit that matters. It doesn't matter much to anyone but me. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't crying. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't dying. Piece by piece inside, no matter how I try, reaching for the sky has left me tired. There's a time and a place and a moment and space to be whatever you want. Freedom's a stake that my will breaks. The logic is buried and gone. Memories basic and violin. It doesn't matter much to anyone but me. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't crying. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't dying. Piece by piece inside, no matter how I try, reaching for the sky has left me tired. It hurts the shoulders, keeping arms up in the air. Lock them safely in your pockets and just leave them there. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't crying. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't dying. Piece by piece inside, no matter how I try, reaching for the sky has left me tired. Reaching for the sky has left me tired. Reaching for the sky has left me tired.
Chin up, girl. It'll all work out okay. See you, Gran. I'm really gonna miss you.
Have you seen the stock market results today? If this continues, we'll have to make a few cuts around here.
You may have to start drinking the 15-year-old Pinot Noir, Mom.
Good Lord, man, we're not savages.
As you wish, Mom. What do you suggest?
I don't know. Do we really need all the staff?
Well, I suppose you could always start mowing the lawns, tending the gardens, cooking the food, and cleaning the house, Mom.
I don't think so. Worthington isn't bred for such domesticities. We are refined. We are cultured. We are above those sorts of shenanigans. We'll have to find the savings elsewhere.
Perhaps you could sell the Bentley and buy an everyday car. Maybe a Hyundai or Toyota. It would still do the same job.
Hyundai? I don't think so. Worthington has a level of decorum that needs to be upheld. A message to the masses that we are important, that we need to be respected, that we are, dare I say, better than them.
Perhaps young Molly could just stay here instead of going to that fancy boarding school. The fees there are enormous. You could always enroll her in the local Rivers College.
Rivers Blooming College? Worthington doesn't engage in public education. Good Lord, man, we're not savages.
Both my boys go there, Mom. They have a fantastic education. You don't always have to spend a bucket load of money to get the things you want.
That's where you're wrong, McLaren. When you pay for education, you are purchasing more than just the schooling. You are purchasing the authority to expect extra. In this case, a better class of school chum. We all need friends with influence, McLaren. Think of it as insurance.
If you say so, Mom.
I don't expect you to understand. Your family has been looking after my family for generations. We Worthingtons are bred to understand the intricacies of economics.
Very good, Mom. Perhaps you could enlighten me.
Sorry, but you just wouldn't understand the workings of the business world. It would all be gobbledygook to you. It's not your fault, you poor blighter. You're just a worker.
Very well, Mom. So, how have your shares fared in the recent stock market plunge?
Oh, it was just a little fall, McLaren. Nothing to worry about.
I'm afraid to say I think it's a little bit more than that, Mom. The gobbledygook released by the Reserve Bank suggests there's been a 32% drop in the ASX, resulting in $60 billion in write-offs. Asian markets have been spooked, and the Nikkei is in turmoil. The Commissioner is expecting a secondary rebound, but has implemented a statutory freeze on trading. But I'm sure you, with your private education and superior breeding, understand the intricacies of this and the possible impact on your portfolio.
This Beatrice girl is a girl of the Lord, eternal salvation her greatest reward. Serving all others with poise, style and grace, a lady of honour who's humble and chaste. A St. Beatrice girl is a girl with good sense, avoiding temptations the devil presents. Forsaking desire, achieving her goals, a woman of virtue, the purest of souls.
Thank you, girls. Now quickly, before the bell rings, I have some information about our upcoming history excursion to Botany Bay.
Sister Catherine, we have a new student starting today. Well, come along, girl. Stop dilly-dallying about. A St. Beatrice girl doesn't dawdle. Sort her out for me, sister.
Oh, man.
Hello. Welcome to St. Bees. What's your name?
It's Molly Worthington.
Well, Molly Worthington, let's get you settled in. You can sit at the table next to Paula.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Molly?
Okay. Well, I'm from northern New South Wales, a town called Lismore. I live with my nan at the Worthington estate. Her family has lived there for as long as any of us can remember.
What does she do for a living?
I'm not really sure. Orders people around, I guess. That's all I've ever seen her do.
And what about your parents?
I'm afraid they died 2 years ago when the family's helicopter crashed. It was very sudden and I miss them a lot.
That's very sad, Molly. Well, welcome to St. Bees. I'm sure the girls will help you settle in. Now, as I was saying earlier, I have the information about our upcoming history excursion. We are going to visit the Maritime Museum and research Captain Cook's discovery of Australia.
I don't understand why he can claim to have discovered it. The Aboriginals were here for over 40,000 years. And this white fella comes along in an old coal ship and suddenly says he discovered it?
Well, I guess he was the first European to discover it.
He wasn't even the first European to discover it. That Dutch guy beat him by 150 years. And anyway, why does it matter if he was the first European to discover it?
It's like saying you discovered rice the first time you visited a Chinese restaurant.
I'm just giving you the accepted historical facts from the book. And remember, Paula, ours is not to reason why.
Ours is but to do or die. Hi, Molly. Welcome to St. Bees. I'm Paula O'Brien.
Hi, Paula. Nice to meet you. Have you been at the school for long?
I've been here since the start of Year 7. My family owns a cotton farm at the back of Narrabri. It's about an hour by bus to the local high school, so my parents thought it would be best for me to come here.
Do you like it here, though? It seems a bit stark.
It's not as bad as it looks. Sister Kath is always nice. It's Mother Superior I have to look out for.
What do you mean?
She's got a heck of a mean streak, a detention Nazi. Anyway, enough about her. Tell me about you. Have you got a boyfriend?
I once kissed Jamie Thompson behind the ag plot. does that count?
Oh, tell me more.
I kissed him one time. That's the entire story.
What a letdown. I thought you were going to do up some juicy stories about tuning and making out.
Sorry, Paula. What about you?
Hardly. This is an all-girls school. The closest we even get to seeing boys is once a year when the lads from St. Bernie's get past you for our socials. Teachers, nuns and brothers hovering, making sure no contact is going on. We have to do silly old-time dances like Pride of Eric. Hardly a chance to do some real dancing.
Well, I can see Paula is helping you settle in, Molly.
Yeah, we were,
I was showing her how to escape a mugger if they attack you.
I see. So, if one is being attacked by a mugger, one should carry on like a headless chook. I'll keep that in mind if ever the situation arises.
Nice one.
Hiya! Are you girls coming up to the dorms?
In a minute, I'm showing Molly my dance moves.
Poor girl. Way to scare her off on her first day. Don't worry, Molly. It's not that bad here at St. B's.
Molly, this is Ariel Bailey. Her parents run a family circus. They spend all their year traveling the country.
That sounds like an interesting life.
Never a dull moment traveling with the circus?
Must be a very successful circus if they can afford to send you here.
My parents don't have 20 cents to rub together. I was lucky enough to win a full scholarship here at St. B's. Otherwise, I'd still be doing my lessons with the bearded lady.
And this is Stella Gordon, the other end of the financial scale. Her father's a property developer. May have heard of him? Wilson Gordon?
Hi, Stella. I love your shoes.
Well, thank you, Molly. Obviously a girl with some taste. I think we're going to get along fabulously. I do like buying shoes.
Helps when your father's got more money than a Saudi prince. He lets her have an unlimited platinum American Express card. She buys whatever she wants.
Speaking of which, I'm so bored. Let's sneak into the city and go shopping.
Not me. Mother Superior is watching us like a hawk these days.
She's right, Stella. Old Bat's got eyes in the back of her head.
Looks like it's shopping online then.
What else could you possibly need to buy, Stella? You have got everything you need.
What's need got to do with it? When it comes to shopping, there's plenty I still want.
Helps when you've got a father prepared to pay whatever you rack up on your credit card. You've got no idea, Molly. She's got her daddy wrapped around her little finger.
You say it like it's a bad thing. Listen up and learn, Molly. This is how you get the job done. Dearest Daddy, it's me, Stella, and I need some different shoes. Think I'll buy some Jimmy Choos. Nothing less will do. And later, maybe then I'll be warmed up for Ralph Lauren. Dearest Daddy, won't you find me something new? Hermes and Armani, Burberry, and then Versace. Buy some Dolce & Gabbana, some Dior, Chanel and Prada. I know you will attest, I can't be seen in second best. Dearest Daddy, won't you find me something new? Dress me up real nice and don't forget about the price. I'll be the good girl that you're craving. Just consider that's your saving. Surely you would rather be seen as the perfect father. Dearest Daddy, I adore you. You're the best. The perfect daddy, so much better than the rest. God bless mommy, God bless daddy, bless American Express. Think I'll buy a Gucci dress. It will help me look my best. And the latest coats from Fendi are so chic, petite and trendy. Dearest Daddy, won't you buy me something new? Accessories are in, I'll buy a necklace and a ring. It's a must to add some bling. It's the contemporary thing. That Louis Vuitton, he really knows what's going on. Dearest Daddy, won't you buy me something new? Dress me up real nice and you'll forget about the price. I'll be the good girl that you're craving. Just consider
something wrong, Stella?
No, just this lousy Wi-Fi connection. You'd think with all the money our parents pay for this school, they could at least get the Wi-Fi sorted, right? You guys run along. I'll catch up with you later.
Okay, don't spend too much money, Gucci girl.
Her father's so rich, he won't even notice the bill.
Stella?
Hello? Is this American Express Card Services? Hi, my name's Stella Gordon, and I'm sure there's been some hideous mistake, but my card isn't working online. Yes, I can hold. Yes? Oh, could you check again? It's linked to my father's account. Wilson Gordon? Oh. I see. Thank you. Dearest Daddy, I am scared. My credit card just got declined. They say the payments are behind. You haven't paid for quite some time. Dearest Daddy, I am frightened. Without money, I am lost. I've never in my life had to worry about the cost. If we're broke or if we're rich, it's still important that I say, dearest Daddy, I'll still love you either way.
Odds? Rummy? Yucca? Cripes, I'd be happy just to play Uno or Snap. Anything to pass the time away.
Stop your whining, you old fool. Go play solitaire if you can't find anyone to play with. Good God, it's like dealing with 3-year-olds sometimes.
Can't help it, I'm bored out of my brain.
Calm down, Bill. Just sit back and relax and enjoy your twilight years.
Twilight years? More like a total blackout. This place is a drain on all our dignity. We may be old, but with age comes experience, and with experience comes knowledge. But it's worthless here. We have nothing to use it for.
Get off your high horse, you silly Billy. Here, time again for your medication. This should restore a bit of peace and quiet.
I'm with Bill. I'm sick of sitting here day after day. There's absolutely nothing to do but say anything, and they shove a bunch of pills down your throat. How did we ever get this old, Cheryl?
I don't know. Age has this nasty habit of creeping up on you. Once upon a time, we had a song in our hearts, a sparkle in our eyes, and a fire in our bellies. We were going to change the world. Do you ever think we wasted our lives?
We were trying to save the world. We were trying to help create a place where everyone could live in peace. How can that be wasting our lives?
But read the newspapers, watch the news. There's more wars, more violence, more greed, more corruption than ever. Were our protests all in vain? Were we just a bunch of naive, starry-eyed dreamers?
We were searching for a new beginning, a new phase. We were searching for the age of Aquarius and all the hopes and dreams it promised.
So where is it? Did we ever find it?
Would we even have known it if we had?
We were so sure we were going to fix it all up. Surely it's not too late.
Many years have gone since we rose as one. Said this can't be the way of living life today. Flower power beliefs, singing songs of peace. But somewhere over time, it turned to this is mine. The echoes still are rambling. Why are we still stumbling? Now I sit here wondering, where is our Aquarius? Where is our Aquarius? let the dance. Sang, give peace a chance. So many voices heard. They tried to spread the word. Was it just a craze? Just a passing phase? An echo in the blue? Imagine to be true. The echoes still are rumbling. Why are we still stumbling? Now I sit here wondering, where is our Aquarius? Where is our Aquarius? I know that little's changed. What we want is still the same. Don't call off the search, don't lose the way. But me, I still believe in those messages of peace. I still imagine, where is our Aquarius? Where is our I doubt that it's too late. The price is still the same. But what price could we pay? What could we give away? For years to spread the word. Has it gone unheard? All too long unsaid. Families now make our best. The echoes still are rumbling. Why are we still stumbling? Now I sit here wondering, where is our Aquarius? Where is our I know that little's changed. What we want is still the same. Don't call off the search, don't lose the way.
Battling about. All this ruckus, may I remind you this is a place of rest?
Rest in peace, more like it.
Yeah. It's time for your afternoon pills, ladies. Maybe they'll settle you down.
I don't want to settle down, Cheryl. I'm sick to death of settling down. I want to act up, freak out, push some boundaries again.
Don't be a goose, Astro. What do you suggest? What fun can be had in this beige castle?
I say we break out of here. Go on the run. Go looking for some action.
Oh, are you crazy, girl? And how do you suggest we get around? Hitchhike?
You're a genius, Cheryl. It'll be just like the old days.
I was being sarcastic. And where do you suggest we go?
I don't know, but anywhere must be better than this dump.
Blasted stock market has had another frightful week. All the good folk at the country club have certainly got the heebie-jeebies.
Right you are, Mom. And how, if you don't mind me asking, are your heebie-jeebies, I mean, how are your stocks faring?
Oh, a bit here and there, up and down, ebbs and flows. Oh, blast it, man, I've absolutely no idea. I've never bothered myself with where the money's invested, just as long as the dividends keep coming in.
So what you're saying, if I understand you correctly, is you're not even sure if you have any money left at all.
That's a bit rash, my good fellow. My father and his father before him were very astute businessmen. I can rest assured that they've placed stocks in safe blue-chip companies. And you know, those government thingies.
Do you mean bonds, Mom?
Oh, yes. Bonds and gold and property. Oh, my Lord, McLaren, I've absolutely no idea. I haven't even looked at a bank statement in 20 years. McLaren, call my money looking after people.
Do you mean your accountants, Mom?
Oh, I don't know. Whoever it is that makes sure all my money keeps coming in. And get onto my share buying, chappie.
Do you mean your stockbroker, Mom?
Oh, I don't know, McLaren. Just be a good chap and sort it all out for me.
Very well, Mom. I'll do my best.
McLaren, have you heard of a company called Northern Exploration?
Yes, Mom. I believe they're a mining company, Mom.
Is that the wretched company? Sorry. Is that the company that all those wretched hippies have been whining about?
I think it's more than just a few hippies that are concerned about this, Mom.
It looks like they're interested in a spot of mining on the edge of our state. Could be our ticket out of this financial pickle. McLaren, have them over for a meeting.
I think you may be rushing into this, Mom. It may be prudent to do some investigation into how these things work.
He who hesitates is lost. Sometimes one needs to act quickly and decisively.
I personally believe in taking things slow and steady. I've always found it best to make decisions based on facts and common sense.
It's not as if we will even notice the mining venture anyway. It's miles down by the river. Nowhere near the house. Nowhere important.
I think you may find the river is actually quite important, Mom. Nature is delicately balanced. I really don't think it wise to rush into this.
And that's why, after all these years, you're still a manservant, McLaren. We entrepreneurs have an intuition about these sorts of things.
And yet you don't even know where your money is or if you have any left.
I'm sorry, McLaren. Were you speaking to me?
No, Mom. I was merely basking in your reflective glory.
Young ladies need proper guidance, sisters. A firm hand and a stern voice can show a kind heart.
Kind heart.
Ah, the old attitude adjuster. The board of education. I remember the good old days when we were still allowed to use this.
I've always considered corporal punishment to be quite barbaric.
Nonsense. Discipline is the backbone of a good society. Back in the good old days.
Good old days?
We never had trouble keeping girls on the straight and narrow.
Straight and narrow.
Surely a kind heart is a more powerful weapon.
Oh, you are so naive! The world has always revolved around the strict enforcement of obedience!
Obedience!
The pyramids would never have been built if the Egyptians hadn't whipped their slaves into submission!
Submission!
The Romans would never have built the roads if the centurions hadn't kept the villagers in line!
In line!
But with all due respect, Reverend Mother, these aren't slaves or pillaged villagers we're dealing with here. They're just young girls. Surely compassion and friendliness can be the guiding hand.
You have a kind and gentle heart, sister. But that's not going to turn these young, flippity drummets into proper young ladies our parents expect.
Yes, Reverend Mother, I do understand that. But it's just sometimes I struggle with hurting someone to care for them.
It was a lesson we all had to learn in our younger lives. Let me try to explain it to you as simply and clearly as possible. I remember the good old days when discipline was best. It's such a shame those days are in the past. Unsociable behaviors were rapidly addressed. The motto of the day was leave your mark. In the good old days we'd whack 'em, never gently really smack them, made it sting, had to learn how to behave. When they knew we had a temper, they would certainly remember, and all their little paws would be saved. trusted bees, a belt, a feather duster, left a bruise of black, purple, blue, and dark. They were reminded of their crimes each time they see their bruise behind. If you want to teach a lesson, leave your mark. They would never turn out ladies if we treated them like babies. This method, tried and true, helped them learn to quickly turn defiance to appropriate appliance, so that chances of advances would improve. My wooden spoon was tried and trusted, beats a belt of feather duster, left a bruise of black and purple, blue and dark. They were reminded of their crimes each time they see their bruise behind. If you want to teach a lesson, leave your mark. These days they say it's cruel to use a paddle to paint a black and blue mosaic upon their saddle. They say I was a fascist or a cruel and wicked sadist. Results well worth thinking for those dressed in our school pinafore. It was used for generations to demand cooperation. Results were quite conclusive of its use. To quickly turn defiance into appropriate compliance, so that chances of advances would improve. My wooden spoon was tried and trusted, beats a belt of feather duster, left a bruise of black and purple, blue and dark. They were reminded of their crimes each time they see their bruise behind. If you want to teach a lesson, leave your mark. My wooden spoon was tried and trusted, beats a belt of feather duster, left a bruise of black and purple, blue and dark. They were reminded of their crimes each time they see their bruise behind. If you want to teach a lesson, leave your mark. If you want to teach a lesson, leave your mark. If you want to teach a lesson, leave your mark. Spare the rod, spoil a child. Oh, how I miss those days. The girls were far more obedient then. They had respect.
I'm so glad we don't hit them anymore. I don't think I could bring myself to do it.
Anyway, the do-gooders put a stop to that. Now we have to culture obedience in much harder ways now. Discipline was so much easier then. Now I'm afraid we have some other matters that are much more pressing. We're having a dreadful time collecting our school fees this year. This wretched stock market crash is having a huge toll on a large number of our parents.
The poor things.
It seems that many of the parents are finding themselves quite overextended and may possibly even have to withdraw their students from our school.
That's terrible news. How many girls are affected?
Sister Margaret?
We're not sure at this stage, but if the plunge continues, we could lose up to half our students. If that happens, only heaven knows what will happen to our school. We're totally reliant on the fees.
We could organise a Leamington drive or something.
Well, that might be okay, Sister Catherine, if you knew someone who would buy 500,000 Lamingtons.
I feel so helpless. I wish there was something we could do to help.
At this point, sisters, all I can suggest is pray.
So, Loris, you can assure me that it's perfectly safe.
Safe as houses, Lady Penelope. I can assure you, nothing will go wrong.
And what will we need to do in this endeavor?
Not a thing. I'll take care of everything while you just sit back and watch the money roll in.
And speaking of money, what is the proposed amount that we can expect?
Well, Lady Penelope, there's a payment algorithm based on market fluctuations, global demand, and competitor incentives. We adjust it for a variety of reasons, including exploration logistics, transportation, and impurity removal. We then deduct a percentage for R&D, licensing fees, infrastructure, and council contributions. The rest, we split 50-50. Obviously, someone of your breeding would understand all of this, I imagine.
Yes. Right, everything seems in order. So, 50-50. Where do I sign?
Excuse the interruption, Mom, but don't you think it wise to read the contract first? Get your lawyers to review it, perhaps.
McLaren, my good man. I know a lucrative investment when I see one.
I feel you're being a little hasty, Mom.
I appreciate your concern, McLaren, but we entrepreneurs have an intuition about these sorts of things. Don't bother yourself with things above your expertise.
As you wish, Mom.
Right. McLaren, have this contract copied for my records, and show this lovely lady out. I look forward to our new joint venture. When shall we meet again?
I'll be in touch. See you then.
Ah, Worthington Brains, a supercomputer, a finely tuned business machine. Time to make some real money again.
Oh, careful, Ariel! You'll break my iPhone. Wouldn't matter. Dearest Daddy would just buy you a new one anyway. Come on, Stella. I was only joking.
Oh, Ariel, it's just dreadful. All the finances from Daddy's last development was invested in shares and... Well, with this damn stock market crash, I'm afraid it seems he's... Well, I'm afraid to say the word. Bankrupt!
That's terrible news, Stella. You poor thing.
Poor? That's exactly what I am now. No more Gucci for this little poochie, yeah?
My folks are always broke, but we stick together and tough it out. We've always survived just fine.
How do you create a style? Show taste?
These two words are about to become the most important words in your brave new world, Stella. Up shop.
You mean like Vinny's? That place smells so funny.
It's not that bad, Stella. I'll teach you the ropes.
What's wrong, Stella? Are your new shoes slightly the wrong colour?
Shoes! What am I going to do without actual proper designer shoes?
Stella's daddy has run into some financial difficulties.
Difficulties, all right. We're flat broke.
That's terrible news, Stella. But there is more to life than money, though.
That's just a line rich people say. You never hear a poor person say, wow, how cool is it that we're broke?
Well, from what I've seen, money can be more trouble than it's worth.
How can money be trouble?
Well, money hasn't done my family any good. Sure, we have a great big home and a bunch of paid help, but there's never any fun at our place. There's nothing to wish for except the things that money can't buy.
Money can buy anything.
It can't buy satisfaction. It can't buy self-worth. And it sure as heck can't buy my parents back.
You're right, Molly. It's just... all my life I've been the little rich girl. It's all I've ever known. It's all you guys know me as. It's probably the only reason you guys hang around me.
Don't be silly, Stella. We couldn't care less about how much money you have. We're friends, and friends look out for each other no matter what.
We'll stick by you forever, Stella. That's what friends do.
Sure will. And true friends are another thing that money can't buy.
Never love you all dearly, 'cause you told me so clearly that you're more than just a little rich girl. Doesn't matter the weather, our brightest days are ahead. We're setting our eyes on a brand new horizon, together forever as friends. We're glad that you're feeling better. We're with you right to the end. We're setting our eyes on a brand new horizon, together forever as friends. We're setting our eyes on a brand new horizon, together forever as friends. We're setting our eyes on a brand new horizon, together forever as friends.
Excuse the interruption, Mom, but I took the liberty of reviewing the contract and it appears there are a few major issues.
What do you mean, issues?
It appears they intend to use explosives to break up the rock and expect it to alter the natural watercourse. This will cause major damage to the estate and probably the whole town.
But they were only supposed to be removing rock from around the river. There was no mention of explosives.
It appears their intention is to remove the entire rock seam from the eastern ridge, effectively producing a dam in the outer basin. They estimate this will reduce downstream river flow by almost 80%.
But that's outrageous.
Even worse, when the storm rains come, it'll probably breach the banks. I can only imagine the immense damage this will cause the surrounding areas during flood times.
That's terrible. How can they get away with that?
I'm afraid to say it's because you've given them permission to do so, Mom. Oh, I wish you had taken the time to read these clauses.
But surely we can deal with all these issues with the truckload of money we will make.
I'm afraid that's the other bad news, Mom. I doubt we'll ever see much of a profit after their expenses are deducted.
But they said 50-50.
That was 50-50 of what was left over. It appears they get the lion's share of the revenue.
We'll just refuse them access.
I'm afraid it's not as simple as that, Mom. You've signed over all permissions to them. Oh, I wish you had taken the time to read these clauses.
Well, what can we do about it?
I have a few ideas, Mom. I think I know just the group of people that can help us.
Well, Cheryl, it's time to make a break.
Don't be a goose, Astra. What's the point? We're just a pair of old fools.
Fools, maybe, but never too old to look for some excitement. We were always up for a bit of mischief.
But what's the point, Astra?
You've got some visitors, Cheryl.
Really? I haven't had visitors since Molly left. Oh, Penelope, this is a surprise.
Good morning, Cheryl.
Well, I'm assuming this isn't a social call. Is there a problem? Oh dear, it's not young Molly, is it? Please tell me she's all right.
No. Molly's just fine.
Okay.
I'm actually here to ask you a favor.
A favor? What on earth have I got that you need, Penelope?
Well, it appears you have a type of wealth that I have no access to. You have the experience and knowledge that it appears I'm in dire need for. McLaren can explain far better than I can.
Cheryl, without getting too far into it, Worthington Estate is in a great deal of danger. I'll fill you in on the details later, but the matter of the fact is, we would like to enlist you and your friends to help us. We're in need of a good old-fashioned protest.
I am so in.
Me too. Count me in.
Cheryl, it'll be great, just like the old days. It's just what we need, a fight worth fighting.
Well, I certainly don't want young Molly's future stolen from her.
Now we're talking. We'll paint up some picket signs, create a bit of civil disobedience. Oh, how I miss civil disobedience.
I don't know about civil disobedience. Can't you just gather up a small rally, sing a few songs, kumbaya and all that sort of stuff? Ring up the newspapers, and all that hullabaloo.
I'm afraid it didn't work too well in the past. I think we need some new ideas.
I agree. Let's not do something rash. It appears a calm mind and a steady hand is called for.
Enough of the steady. I'm in for something rash.
Climb aboard, don't miss this boat. It's time to take life by the throat. No sunken eyes, no hound dog face. Leave them without a trace because I want to. You know I need to.
jump on that policeman's back, though, Cheryl.
I guess I did get a bit carried away, but when no one listens to your words, sometimes it takes actions to get them to notice.
Oh, they noticed all right. See where it's landed us. Back in the slammer.
Just like old times, eh?
Well, it's like we always used to say, you know you've got attention when they put you in detention.
Excuse me, Sergeant. Sorry. But how long do you intend to keep us locked up in here for?
Yeah.
Come on.
Until you've had enough time to think about your ridiculous shenanigans. Really? Chaining yourself to mining equipment? Blockading road access?
Is that the sort of behaviour suited for a bunch of senior citizens?
Well, I wasn't aware that there was an age limit of when you're supposed to stop caring about the vandalizing of our farmlands.
Yeah!
The poisoning of our waterways.
Yeah!
And the total disrespect for community sentiment.
Yeah! Get off your high horse, Rainbow Warrior.
Northern Exploration has signed a contract that is well within their right to enter that property and start mining.
You shouldn't be able to buy what nature can't afford to sell.
Exactly. And just because it's not illegal doesn't mean it's right.
Oh, what's the use in fighting anyway, Cheryl? It's always the same. You try, and you try, but something just always gets in the road.
I agree. We tried, we failed. Let's all go back to the home as soon as we get released.
I'm getting too old for this.
And I want to get out of this.
Oh, shush, you're not a part of this conversation. Anyway, it's not like anything's going to change.
Nothing will ever change with that sort of attitude.
What's the point? We tried, we failed.
Let's all go back to the home and get a nice warm cup of tea.
No point fighting the system.
Now hang on a minute, you old coots. None of us have had a simple life handed to us on a platter.
We've all had our fair share of obstacles, and one thing I've learned is that when we all join forces, we can achieve great things.
And let's face it, we live in a region that has had a huge number of floods. And what do we do when it starts flooding?
We all pitch in and help each other get ready.
Yeah.
Help each other move what we can.
Yeah.
Help each other to stay safe.
Yeah. And when Mother Nature kicks us squarely in the teeth.
She's fine.
Sorry. Okay. And when Mother Nature kicks us squarely in the teeth, and the floods engulf our homes, we get together and help each other clean up and get back on our feet again.
That's the Lismore way, always has been and always will.
Yeah. You can knock us down, but you can't keep us down.
And there's only one thing to do when you get knocked down. Dust yourself off, then jump up and do it again. Jump!
One thing I've learned, jump up and do it again. Someone hurts you, friends desert you, jump up and do it again. Left out, self-doubt, uptight, stage fright, it's time to reach within. Life turns sour, lost the power, now's the hour. Jump up and do it again. Jump up and do it again, my friend. Jump up and do it, there's nothing to it if you wanna make amends. Jump up, do it again. Jump! Made a mistake, need a retake. Jump up and do it again. Feeling worn down, stressed out, torn down. Jump up and do it again. Locked out, stuck in, can't win everything that's under your skin. Time to discharge, calmly recharge, never too hard. Jump up and do it again. Jump up and do it again, my friend. Jump up and do it. Ain't now to do it if you wanna make amends. You gotta jump up and do it again. Jump! Jump up, jump up, jump up, jump up, jump up.
still locked up, Sergeant?
Just let them cool down for a while, Lady Penelope.
Well, I suggest you let them go immediately, unless you plan on charging them with something. I'm sure 60 Minutes would love to do a story on how you've locked up a group of old age pensioners for trying to stick up for their local community.
The law's the law.
Do the crime,
Do the time.
Yes, the law is the law, and the law states very clearly you can only keep them here if you charge them.
Very well, but this better be the end of the tomfoolery. We'll charge you with obstruction. Understood?
What? Lady Penelope, you'll need to come with me to complete the release paperwork before I can let them go.
Well, it would appear we lost that battle.
We lost the battle, but not the war. It's clear we need to get smarter and how we need to fight this.
Straight back to the picket line, I say.
Well, that will just end us back in here.
I agree. It appears a steady mind and a focused approach is called for.
I agree, McLaren. It's obvious that this course of action was probably more suited to the 60s and 70s than it is today. We are fighting in a modern war. We need modern weapons.
We've never been about weapons and violence. I'm not sure I want to be involved in this sort of thing.
Not violence, silly. The modern battlefield isn't on the ground. It's in cyberspace. You know, like computers and the World Wide Web.
You mean like Goggle?
Ah, that's it.
I think it's pronounced Google.
That thing that all the kids use. Twitface or something.
Yes. What is it? Instabook.
Oh, my lord. It's clear we're out of our depth here.
May I humbly suggest you ask for help from the masters of this new technology.
You mean employ some experts?
Exactly. And what better experts are there than teenagers? I'm sure young Molly and her friends would understand all of this far better than we do.
After all, Worthington Estate is going to be hers one day. I assume she doesn't want it to be full of holes and the cause of major flooding.
Very well then. May I suggest we go home for the night and meet again at the estate tomorrow morning.
Great. I'll call Molly tonight.
This better be the last of it.
Now, right along home. Goodness sakes, acting your age.
Lismore, we are at war. We're here. We're here to stay. We're here. We're here to stay.
Ever think you'd be the one to make him run for the door?
family estate? Something about a mining company wanting to mine the riverbanks. Apparently the rock is full of valuable minerals.
Mining companies have been destroying my hometown over the past few years. Big mining companies looking for big profits, leaving us big problems.
What are they mining for?
In my area, it's not the minerals they're looking for, it's the gas. Our world has an endless appetite for things, and things will carry heaps of energy and resources to be made.
So why are they allowed to do it? Surely there are other fuels. What about solar and wind farms?
If we really wanted them, we would have them. If people were truly as interested in alternative fuels as they were in getting the latest smartphone, then it would happen.
But there's just no comparison there, though. They need to make it more appealing. Everybody wants the brand new iPhone, but not so many people want a brand new wind turbine. They're just not sexy enough.
Sexy enough? What on earth are you guys talking about?
The fact that wind turbines are uglier than the brand new iPhone.
Molly's home is about to be taken over by mining companies.
Oh my word. That is a dilemma. What are your family doing about it?
Well, it's kind of hard to believe, but my nan is getting my gran and her other friends to help.
So, what's so hard to believe about that? They're family after all.
No. Nan is my dad's mother and gran is my mum's mother. Couldn't be more different to each other. They barely even speak to each other.
Don't be surprised, Molly. When push comes to shove, families stick together.
What can your gran and her friends do to help?
I'm not really sure, but they have spent half their lives protesting against environmental destruction, so surely they've learnt something over the years.
Then why do they need your help?
They need us to help them with getting the message out. You know, social media and that sort of thing.
Well, we're happy to help, but how?
There's always something you can do to help.
Are you going to lecture us about the power of prayer?
The power of prayer is not to be underrated, ladies. But this particular time, I'm talking about the power of people. Great things can happen when people join together with a common goal.
Are you saying you're going to help as well?
I most certainly am, Molly. And I'm going to make sure you do this properly, with ethics, morals, and manners. A fight should never be played out with fists and should always be played out with brains.
I don't know about your grandparents, Molly, but mine still think the internet's some kind of magical hocus pocus.
My grandpa still can't even send an email. He makes my mum print it out before he reads it.
My mum can't even get the hang of texting. Once my grandma was like really sick and in hospital, and she sent me a text saying, "Grandma has just passed away." Lol! And I was like, "Mum, there's nothing funny about Grandma dying." And she said, "Sorry, darling, I thought it meant lots of love."
My granny still has to put "the" in front of everything. She says stuff like, "Are you on the Facebook?" or on the Google.
Well, my gran didn't even have electricity to her place for most of her life, so she has no clue about computers.
So I think it's clear, ladies. We all need to pitch in and help Molly and her family to fight for their home. Your lives have revolved around technology. It's time to put that wisdom to good use. Agreed?
Agreed.
I'm in.
Me too.
We love that.
We need a huge social media campaign. We need as many Lismore people to get the message.
I'll start some online petitions.
I'll start some groups and cross-link them with as many groups as possible.
We'll call BuzzFeed.
Let's get this action viral, peeps. Sorry, I mean, let's endeavour to get the word spread quickly, my dears.
What is going on here? What is that joke?
Well, actually, it's no joke at all. We were talking about helping Molly's family fight the mining company trying to take over their estate. I'm sorry. I assume you don't approve this sort of action.
A St. Beatrice lady does not involve herself in fighting and protests.
Surely, as a woman who has devoted her life to serving our Lord, you understand the need to fight for what is right.
We must always display the values we are vowed to uphold.
Everything we believe in, everything that we have achieved, is a direct result of standing up for our values. We have all solemnly sworn an oath to honour, serve, and protect our God and all of his creations. It is our duty to be actively involved.
This is true, sister. You are wise beyond your years. We did also vow to ensure no harm comes to our girls. So I agree. Our guidance, experience, and involvement in this fight is very much our responsibility.
But how do we fight them? Where do we start? They're so much bigger and more powerful than us.
That is my point precisely. We do not fight them with muscles. We fight them with our wits. Attack them when they least expect it. Swiftly and strongly. It's been 2,000 years or more of fighting for a noble cause. We've learnt a thing or two along the way. When people stomp on your beliefs, it's hard to turn the other cheek. We won't resort to violence, but we never will be silenced. Guess you could say we're ninja nuns. We've got the moves to make you run and hide forever. Out of the shadows we will catch you unaware. Won't know what's hit you till we slinked away from there. Cause we're just implementing all these covenants. You've been attacked by ninja nuns. We don't fight with fisting guns. Like all good ninjas, we know brains is how war is won. This agitation will be battled with our minds, and your frustration will be that you're left behind. You've been attacked by ninja nuns. Don't be fooled by our attire. We are stronger than you think. Our faith is all we need to see us through. The big guy that we follow keeps an eye out for this combo. We battle hard and know the worth of fighting to protect God's earth. Make no mistake, we're ninja nuns. We'll cut you hard and fast and leave you wondering what's happened. Don't underestimate the power of our ways. When you investigate what left you in this state, how all your plans unravel, left you feeling stunned. You've been attacked by ninja nuns. You've been attacked by ninja nuns. You have been attacked by ninja nuns. We're ninja nuns.
Loris, I regret to inform you that I have decided to pull out of this mining venture.
I'm afraid it's a little too late for that, Lady Penelope.
I must insist that you pack up your wretched equipment and leave my property at once.
That's not going to happen. We have a contract, a signed agreement. I start blasting at 8 a.m. on Tuesday.
Well, I forbid it. The land is still mine.
That may be so, but according to this contract, I can do what I like.
I'll just refuse you access.
Once again, according to this contract, you can't deny me any reasonable access. I'm thinking the orchard might be a good place to start blasting.
You scoundrel! You're going to destroy my property. This land has been in my family for years.
Well then, I'd be very careful about your next move. Get in my way, and I'll dig up your whole front driveway. See you Tuesday.
I've really made a meal of it this time, haven't I, McLaren?
We still have a few cards up our sleeves, Mom.
But they hold all the trumps. They're far too powerful for us.
If we can find a way to harness it, we have the greatest power in the world, the power of people. I've invited Cheryl and her friends over to discuss our new strategies.
Have you finished setting up our new computer so we can do whatever that funny online meeting thingy Molly is talking about?
Yes, apparently she wishes for us to join in over the computer with a thing called Skype. It says we need to install a web camera via USB, link an Ethernet cable, install some new VoIP software, configure a new SIP provider, create an account. Did you understand any of that?
Not a word. Let's have a look at this instruction manual, shall we? Surely it can't be too hard. Step 1. Unpack and check all contents in the box. Yes, good-o. All contents are in the box. Step 2. Plug in and power up. Plug what? Where? Power who?
Insert in any available port. What on earth does that mean? Do they wish for us to place the computer in a suitcase?
I can't imagine why it needs to be a suitcase. Do you think a briefcase will do? No, I guess not. Probably not large enough. What else does it say?
It says to follow this diagram. Oh my, Mom. Seems we're a touch out of our depths. Apparently, we take a cord and plug it into the keyboard. It says the cable that we need is a Type-C USB. And then we need a VGA for video to be displayed. It says it should be 15 pin. How do I plug this damn thing in?
Plug output A to input B with the cable marked as C. Then take cables D and E and plug them into F and G. My Lord McLaren, I suspect we'll plug the whole damn alphabet. My forty mind is in a spin. How do I plug this damn thing in? How do I plug? How do I plug? How do I plug? I don't know where to begin. How do I plug this damn thing in?
It says this white thing is a mouse and will be used to point, select, and browse. It magically connects for use with a thing they call Bluetooth.
It sounds like a dental play.
This manual is oh so vague. I think I'll throw it in the bin. How do I plug this damn thing in? How do I plug?
How do I plug this damn thing?
How do I plug?
How do I plug this damn thing?
How do I plug?
How do I plug this damn thing?
I don't know where to begin. How do I plug this damn thing in?
It says we should be wary, Mom, of cookies, trojans, worms, and spam. For these are what computers get when surfing on the internet.
If you want to stop infection, you need to buy virus protection. The internet's a scary thing. How do I plug this damn thing in? How do I plug? How do I plug? How do I plug? I don't know where to begin. How do I plug this damn thing in? How do I plug?
How do I plug this damn thing?
How do I plug?
How do I plug this damn thing?
I don't know where to begin. How do I plug this damn thing in? That's it, McLaren. I'm fed up with this infernal contraption. Take it away before I throw a brick at it. And please, bring me a large, large gin. I cannot plug this damn thing in. Let's just fly them up, McLaren. I'll call Mother Superior.
Splendid idea, Mom.
Ah, books. I don't need a silly computer to find information. My family has been building a library full of reference books for generations. If I want to know about Keynesian economics, or tractor maintenance, yikes. I really need to get some new books.
Excuse the interruption, Mom. Our guests have arrived.
Jolly good. Come in, come in. Oh, you can marvel later. Come on, come on.
Devonki. Theo Devonki.
So happy to see you all. I trust the flight was pleasant.
It's really lovely to be back home. I had no idea how much I missed this place.
I've brought a few of my old gang along too, Penelope. We're all itching to join in, but we're not really sure of what we should be doing.
I believe young Molly has some new and inventive ideas for us.
That's right. Okay, so if we're going to get a crowd together quickly, then we need everyone who has Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and Twitter to share the message they'll be taking a stand against Northern Exploration here next Tuesday.
I'm afraid old coots like us don't even know where to begin with this.
We'll handle the social networking side. You guys can handle it on the pavements.
You mean walk the streets and talk to people about this?
Start petitions, put up banners, tell all your friends to tell all of their friends. It's pretty much the same thing.
And we'll man the phones, call the media, connect the community.
Oh, and what can we do in this endeavor?
You can spread the word down at the country club. Friends of a friend may be just the friends that we will need.
You ready, Astra?
Yes. Something's going down and it may destroy the town. Won't you stand with us and fight for what is right? If we're only just a few, then there's nothing we can do. But united, there's a chance we'll win the fight. Something's going down and it may destroy the town. Won't you stand with us and fight for what is right? If we're only just a few, then there's nothing we can do. But united, there's a chance we'll win the fight. Oh, thank you. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, marvelous. Thank you. Have you heard about what's going down at Worthington Estate?
I heard there's going to be a big rally against that mining company. No one wants them wrecking our waterways. But what can we do about it? You can't be big business.
If enough people join together, we can take them on.
I'm not an activist though. Neither am I, but this is really important. So true, we all need to get active. So how do I join the fight?
You need to tell all of your friends.
And get them to tell all of their friends.
Something's going down and it may destroy the town. Won't you stand with us and fight for what is right? If we're only just a few, then there's nothing we can do. But united, there's a chance we'll win the fight.
We need as many people as possible. I've never done anything like this before. I don't like conflict. What do we have to do?
Just be there. Join the resistance.
United we stand. Something's going down and it may destroy the town. Won't you stand with us and fight for what is right? If we're only just a few, then there's nothing we can do. But united, there's a chance we'll win the fight.
Well, I'll be there. This affects the entire community. Sometimes you just have to make a stand. Okay, see you there. See you there.
Remember, tell all of your friends.
Seems that Lady Penelope is trying to weasel out of the deal. She even got a few others to join the protest. Then again, who cares about a few old stragglers and some other hippies? The general public certainly won't.
And if they cause any issues, we'll throw them in the slimmer for a few hours.
That'll cool them down.
One of these fools is going to realise that nothing stands in my road once that contract is signed. You can't argue with the contract.
And you
Can't argue with the law.
It's funny how most people sign before they've given ample time to read what's in the finest print, to rush and bring the profits in. They sign without the slightest force, then later get buyer's remorse.
river is the lifeblood of this town. It feeds our fields, it grows our crops. The river is a place to go for a swim, to have a nice walk, to throw in a fishing line, to bring a picnic blanket. The river is our life. The river is not for sale.
Today, I have discovered that even if I can't change the world, I can be part of a group that are taking small steps towards it. The longest journeys all start with small steps. We still have a long way to go, but the journey has begun. There have been so many problems that have threatened our world over the past years, the greatest ones being greed, ignorance, and apathy. It is our duty to stay involved, stay aware, and stay informed. Thank you.
Keep your hands off our lands. Say it simple so you'll understand. We're all united, we're mad as hell. You can't buy what we can't afford to sell. This is our river, it's not for sale. This is our town, it's not for sale. This is our health, it's not for sale. This is our future and it's not for sale.
In the short time I've been away, I realized that this is my town and this is my home. You can take me out of the town, but you can't take the town out of my soul. The town is the heart, and the rivers and the creeks are the arteries that feed and nourish it.
Keep your hands off our lands. Say it simple so you'll understand. We're all united, we're mad as hell. You can't buy what we can't afford to sell. This is our river, it's not for sale. This is our town, it's not for sale. This is our health, it's not for sale. This is our future and it's not for sale.
Firstly, I'd like to thank you one and all for being here today. I am overwhelmed by the amount of support from so many people of so many walks of life who have gathered here today. I realize now what a foolish old woman I've been. Yes, as you know, I inherited a vast fortune and always knew that I was rich. It is only today that I've truly discovered my real wealth. My true riches are my family and friends, and the Lismore community in the spirit of its residents. To my extraordinarily clever granddaughter Molly and her friends. To my wise and loyal butler McLaren. To my family, Cheryl and her friends. Yes, Cheryl, you are family.
Thank you.
To the caring and supportive nuns at St. Beatrice's, and to you all, the amazing Lismore community, I pledge my humble and eternal gratitude.
All lovely words, Lady Penelope, but that's all they are. Words.
Northern Exploration has the right to be here, and if you continue to obstruct them, I will throw you in the prison cells.
Well, I hope you have a cell big enough to fit us all in, because we stand as one.
I'll charge every last one of you if that's what it takes.
You have no legal basis to stop the work.
I'm afraid to say that's not entirely true. Here you can read in subclause 71C, and I quote, "The contract may be declared null and void if deemed to cause a significant impairment to the community or have a detrimental impact on the community."
You silly old fool. The community refers to the area.
I'm afraid that's not correct. As you can see, the community is people, all sorts of people. Old people, young people, office workers, council workers, tradespeople, alternative people, business people, rich people, poor people, people of all races, people of all beliefs. People are the community, and the community has spoken. You are a detriment to us. You impair us. Keep your hands
off our lands. Say it simply so you'll understand. We're all united, we're mad as hell. You can't buy what we can't afford to sell. This is our river, it's not for sale. This is our town, it's not for sale. This is our health, it's not for sale. This is our future and it's
for reminding me I'm never alone. All the courses that this river runs are important to everyone. Sometimes the way is hard, sometimes the rain clouds fill the eyes. I could cry, I could start searching my heart until I finally find the courage that was there all the time. I will stand and fight if I believe it's right. Community unites to fight for what is right. Thanks for reminding me we share this love. Thanks for reminding me of what it's worth. All the people here in front of me are the riches of our community. Sometimes the way is hard, sometimes the rain clouds fill my eyes. I could cry, I could start searching my heart until I finally find the courage that was there all the time. I will stand and fight if I believe it's right. Community unites to fight for what is right. Side by side we stand, proud protectors of our land, united in the plan to make our space a better place. I will stand and fight if I believe it's right. Community unites to fight for what is right. It's my community, love my community, for my community. I'll fight for what is right. It's my community, love my community, for my community. I'll fight for what is
Do you think we've seen the last of the McLaren?
I doubt it. Give a shark a sniff of blood and they'll circle around for a while. I'd be surprised if they don't mount a large legal challenge.
Well, we'll put together a team of lawyers and fight them all the way to the Supreme Court. That's assuming I actually have any money left.
Fear not, ma'am. And I vowed to help you that was not restricted to pouring your cognac and driving you to the country club. I've always kept a prudent eye over your finances, and may I say, they are in fantastic shape.
Whatever did I do to deserve you, McLaren? You've always been so gracious and astute. From now on, things are going to change around here.
How so, ma'am?
Well, for one thing, I will be doing far more around the house. I will no longer be needing you to be my butler.
You're firing me?
Heavens no, man. You're far too important to be pouring my drinks and ironing my tablecloths. I would like you to be my chief financial advisor and estate manager.
Thank you, ma'am. It would be an honor.
I must say, Penelope, it's been great to be of use again, but it's going to be hard to get back to the slow pace of the nursing home again, though.
You and your friends have done so much for me in Worthington Estate over the past few weeks. What sort of wretched old fool would I be to let her own family go back to such a dull place? If you had forgiven old Ninny, I'd love for you all to come back and see the orchard back into full swing. we could convert the packing sheds into a lovely home for you all.
Oh, Penelope, that would be just wonderful, wouldn't it, Astra?
Well, can we paint the shed?
If that's what you'd like.
Can we set up a little operation making juices and selling them?
With profits going to charity.
I'd be delighted.
Can I have the Bentley?
Now you're pushing it. Actually, McLaren, you take the Bentley.
What?
I need to find myself an everyday car, something I can drive myself in. One a little less thirsty on fuel, maybe a Hyundai.
It's so awesome to see Worthington Estates so full of life again.
You know you don't have to go back to Sydney. You could always move home again. In fact, your friends would also be welcome. You'd all have to pitch in around the place, of course, everyone helping out to make Worthington Estate what it was always meant to be, a thriving, happy family home.
Well, that may be just as well. We are considering closing down the boarding school and redirecting our services. It has become clear to me that caring for young girls is far more effective than punishing them. And look how wonderful they've all turned out.
Mother Superior is also allowing us to change the name of our order. We will no longer be the Little Sisters of Perpetual Obedience, and we will now be known as the Little Sisters of Perpetual Assistance.
We can be far more effective helping young girls. No, young people of all backgrounds achieve through nurture, support, and opportunity.
Well, girls, if it is suitable to your parents, of course, I would be honored to have you join us living here at Worthington Estate. I could enroll you at the Rivers College. A much wiser person than I am has taught me that you can't buy a good education. You can only experience it.
I'm surprised, Penelope. I thought you would have avoided public education.
Good God, man, we're not savages.